Alright, welcome back. This is video 3, finding the anaerobic threshold for the GXT lab, Robert Lewis's lab. So here we go. We are going to go right back to the instruction sheet. And for the instruction sheet, we have completed in the last video method 2A, the first criterion. We decided that it was 3.35 liters of O2. And now we're going to go to the second criterion. Alright, so what do we need to do for the second criterion? First thing, plot VE VO2 and VE VCO2 on one graph. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that first. Let's go back to where we were. Let's put this over to the side here. If we can, let me zoom out a bit. And we'll put it right over here. Okay, zoom back in. Alright, so we want to highlight the rows that we want, so we know we want VeVO2 and VeVCO2. Okay, so again, just control, highlight all, what is that? Alright, control and highlight all the cells that you want, VeVO2. We'll do the same with VeVCO2. And rather than have them related to time, we're actually going to do related to VO2, so that when we find the breakpoint that we're looking for, we can determine what the VO2 was at that point in time. Okay, so you have VeVO2, VeVCO2, and VO2 highlighted in your columns. Go ahead and go up to Insert, Scatter, and select that first option. Now, it's a little bit screwy, so obviously I must have done something goofy. So let's try it again. Highlight VO2, VeVO2, VeVCO2. Let's go to Insert, Scatter, click that, and that's more like it. Okay. First thing we want to do is we want to create two y-axes. Okay. Why we want to do that is because we want to have the left correspond to either VeVO2 or the VeVCO2, and then the right correspond to the other. Okay, so what we want to do is go ahead and click on the data points. It doesn't matter whether the blue ones or the red ones are your data points, and they're conveniently already identified. So the blue ones are VeVO2. I'm going to right click, and we're going to go to, let's see, Format Data Series. Once you hit that Format Data Series, you're going to see an option, Series Options, and you want to click Secondary Axis. Okay, so you click Secondary Axis, and you see it magically appears there on the right. So let's go ahead and close that. And also, we definitely want it to be more aesthetically pleasing, so let's do that. And we can blow it up. Again, we want to label it right away. I'm not going to label it just for time's sake, but make sure that you label it along with your axes. So since we clicked VeVO2 and added the axis, the right axis is the one that corresponds to VeVO2. The left one corresponds to VeVCO2. Alright, now what we're going to do is put that relationship or that graph off to the side here, because we need to make our second graph. So let's go back. So we have our first one, VeVO2 and VeVCO2. Now we want PET-O2 and PET-CO2 on one graph. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to here, and we're going to do PET-O2 and PET-CO2. And we're going to make that in relation to VO2 again. And go to Insert, Scatter. You can select the first one there. And there we have it, PET-O2 and PET-CO2. We'll fix it up a bit. And we're also going to create the second y-axis for this one too. So we'll do it for PET-CO2. Let's right click. And we're going to go to Format Data Series. And Secondary Axis. We'll close that. Now we have our two axes, really nice looking, but what I don't like about this is that it starts at 0, because we don't get any values up about until 90, 85 or so. So let's go ahead and select this, and we're going to go to Format Axis, and we're going to do a fixed minimum, and it looks like it's 90, so let's try it. I'm going to put 90, close that, and that looks much better. Here we're going to do fixed minimum as well.